Hi everybody, Judy Tuttle here from Tuttle Up Stamping. Thanks for joining me today. I'm excited to come on with another online card class to go. As many of you know who've been watching me for a bit, this is a class that you can get for free with an online order of $35 or more in my Tuttle Up shop right there. And you need to use that host code that's at the bottom of the screen. So you can take a screenshot of that or whatever you need to do to help you remember that host code. Now, before we get started, and when you come on, will you let me know I'm here? I'm hoping I'm broadcasting in the right spot. My iPad is dead today, so I wasn't able to have that to see if I am where I need to be. So I'm just going to keep on going, and hopefully as you guys come on, you'll let me know you're here. So I so appreciate that. All right, so my BOGO sale was last weekend. It was incredible. You guys bless me upon bless me all the time, but last weekend was just amazing. So I just want to really thank all of you for coming to my online card class to go. Hi, Donna. Thanks for joining me. And just supporting my small business. This is what I do. This is my business. I do Stampin' Up full time. I was an educator for 30 years and a school counselor, and I used to do Stampin' Up at night and in the evenings, and it was like a full-time job then, but now it's really my full-time job, and I love what I do. So I hope you guys will support me, and thank you, Kathy, for joining me. I appreciate it. Nice to have you here. I was just talking about how much love everybody showed me in my BOGO sale and how much that meant to me. So I appreciate any business I can get. I'm just humbled and grateful that you're willing to support my small business. Hi, Dana. Thanks for joining me. I'm glad you're here. Okay, so I'm going to get some of this stuff out of the way for just a second. And talk to you about the next big thing that's coming up with Stampin' Up right now. Let's see if I can get this to work for me. Is it there? Showing current scene. Okay, well, it's not wanting to for some reason. Let me show you. Here we go. There we are. Okay, so starting June the 5th, which is Wednesday. This starts on Wednesday. Stampin' Up is having a sale. All of our die cutting machines will be on sale 10% off. That's the mini one, which you can get in either white or boho blue, or the big one that you can get in only white, okay? But not only that, not only are our die cutting machines going to be on sale, which I have never seen them do this before, I'm going to be totally honest, but also all of our stamp die bundles will be on sale for 10% off as well, okay? So any stamp set that is bundled with a die set, you can get 10% off. So this is a June sale. It will be for June only. So if you're interested in getting one of our Stampin' Up awesome stamp die embossing machines, this would be the time to get it, okay? It'll be on sale for 10% off. If you want some Stampin' Die bundles from our new catalog, again, great time to get it because those will be on sale for 10% off too. And those of us who are on a team, who are demonstrators, get that 10% off over and above our regular discount. So that is pretty amazing. So I'm going to get that out of the way. And let's get started with some stamping. I'm going to move to my hands here and show you what we're going to be playing with today. So I am a color gal. I love color. I don't know if you guys have noticed that about me or not, but what I'm excited about to show you today is the Full of Life Suite collection. This suite is on page 42 and 43 of the annual catalog. And this paper is just full of color. Roz, so glad you're here with me today. So full of color. It's just screams Judy. That's the kind of stuff I love. The stamp set and the dies are so versatile. You guys already know how I feel about this beautiful ribbon, this iridescent ribbon, right? I've talked about it already. Just look at the shine in that. That's fun. These beautiful iridescent faceted gems. I've already used those in a couple of videos. These are going to be something I use a lot because I love, look at the shine on those. It's almost holographic. It's so fun. And they're white or clear looking, so they go with everything. So I am sure I'm going to be buying a lot of those. And then the designer series paper, as you can see here on the catalog, is just bright, bold, vibrant. It's a 6x6 paper pack. Just tons of fun prints and designs, bold colors. All the colors that are in this, they show a few of them here on the bottom of page 42, but that is just a sampling. Let me tell you all the colors that are in this designer series paper. Balmy Blue, Berry Burst, Blueberry Bushel, Coastal Cabana, Crushed Curry, Daffodil Delight, Granny Apple Green, Lemon Lime Twist, Melon Mamba, Petunia Pop, Pretty in Pink, Pumpkin Pie, Real Red, Shaded Spruce, and Shy Shamrock. So tons of colors in this designer series paper that we're going to get to play with today. I would like to give away a whole pack of this designer series paper to someone who is Kathy, not the sweets. Hi, Brenda. Thanks for watching. Just the stamp die bundles. Okay, just the stamp die bundles. So this whole suite would not be on sale, but the bundle, right, of the stamps and the dies, Friends for Life bundle, right now is already discounted 10%. So it's $53. You would get another 10% off of that price. So it would be about $47, if I'm doing my math right in my head, a little less than $47 to get this bundle. So the whole suite isn't, but the bundle, and then you know what? The price for the suite really reflects just the discounted price on the bundle anyway. So if you bought the bundle and then added on these other things, it would still be a savings to you. So I hope that makes sense. So next week, I'll be giving away a whole pack of the Full of Life 6x6 designer series paper to people who comment, share, show me some love on this video today. And I'll be giving that away next Monday during my Facebook Live. I don't have anything to give away today because I didn't do a Facebook Live video last week. It was Memorial Day. And so I was traveling to Dallas to spend the day with my grandkids. So no video last week. And I have had fun too, Roz. And I hope you, Roz, and everybody else love what I do with this suite today. I have a really fun fold to show you at the very end. Okay, so you get these dies that say friend, and these are inside-outside dies. So the inside is a very scripty friend. It's a skinnier die cut, and then the outside is a bubble that kind of goes around it. So that's fun. You get some hearts, you get these banners, you get a big heart, which I'm not using today. You get this leafy image here, and you get a smaller leaf image here that cuts out this one here that is on the stamp set right there. Okay, so the first two cards we're going to make today are very pretty simple, very simple. The last one is a fun fold, and it is a little more involved, but I think you're going to love it. I got the fun fold card in a swap that I participated in, and I thought, oh, I have to share that with my friends. Okay, so the first one is going to be this card right here. This is actually a card I made for that same swap I participated in that I was telling you about. It's a super simple thinking of you. When I do swaps, I keep them pretty simple because you're making a lot of the same card, right? Don't you love the colors in this? I love the Coastal Cabana with the pop of lemon lime twist, and then this leaf is in shaded spruce. So I love that, and I put a little leaf on the inside. So let's make this card together. We're going to start with, let me pull all my pieces out here. We're going to start with a piece of Coastal Cabana that is cut 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4 1/4. So I'm just going to fold that in half and then grab my bone folder and get a really nice crease on that card right there. Okay, so that's going to be my card base. I have for the inside of my card a piece of basic white, and why don't I have a little sticker on this? I don't know. But it's cut 4 by 5 1/4. That's a pretty standard size for the inside of a card. I'm going to go ahead and grab my shaded spruce and stamp that smaller leaf that I just showed you in the bottom right corner right here. And then just adhere that to the inside of my cards. Those of you who know me well know that I like to bring the outside to the inside on my cards. I very rarely just leave it plain and white. I like something on the inside to kind of bring it all together, make it very cohesive. So that's going to be my inside panel right there. Okay, super simple. Then on the outside, I have a piece of lemon lime twist that I've cut 4 by 2.5, 4 by 2.5. And then I took the designer series paper that are these squares, and I pulled one that had the blues, the shaded spruce, and the lemon lime twist in it. This is actually 2 1/4 by 3 3/4 when it's cut. 3 squares across by 5 squares down. Okay, I'm going to adhere these two together. Maybe I'll do it a little more this way. Doesn't matter. I could have flipped the whole panel over. I don't know why I was worrying about that right there, but that's good. Okay, so there we go. There's my panel. Now I'm going to, well, what I did do is I took the die of the big green flower right here, the green leaf, and I cut it out of shaded spruce. So this is out of shaded spruce is the color. And I tell you what I did. Before I cut it out, I put some of our adhesive sheets on the back. And what the adhesive sheets do is it makes your die cut into a sticker. I plan to show how you do this on my Tuttle Thursday tips this week. So come back on Thursday at noon and I'll show you how I make my die cuts into stickers using those adhesive sheets and give you some tips and tricks to that. I love to do this on a little more intricate dies because it makes it easy for them when you create them and make them into a sticker. It makes it really easy to adhere onto the card. So that's what I'm getting ready to do right here. I'm just going to adhere that right onto that panel right there. Isn't that a nice pop? Okay, so then I took this panel piece right here and I cut 3 in basic white. 3 of them. Okay, I pulled in my silicone mat right here because nothing sticks to a silicone mat. Silicone mats are pretty, I feel like they're like $5 or something, but it's really good when you're gluing things together because if the glue sticks to the mat, this silicone mat, it'll just pop right up. It's really very easy. So I'm going to take this panel, I'm going to take them one at a time. I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue, kind of right in the center right here. And then I'm adhering this to where this first line underneath the first row of squares is. And I'm just adhering it on the back. And I want just a touch of it, like 1/4 of an inch of it to come off the left side and the rest to come off the right side here. Okay, so that's my first one. Okay, if there's any glue on that, it's going to stick to that silicone mat and it won't make a mess on my surface here. I'm going to do it again. I know, right? It is. It's super fun. It's a little more contemporary, right? But I really do love the pop of color in this set. And it does take, so maybe after today, Dana, you will see, I mean, my eye went to it right away. I knew I was going to love it. But I have heard other people say that, but then they said once they started playing with it, it was just so much fun. So I hope that's the way you feel after seeing my video today. I totally get that, but I'm telling you, I'm a green person. I'm a bright, bold color person, and this bundle spoke to me. Okay, so I put one of those banners along kind of where that first row of squares, that line right there. I put the second one where the first row of squares from the bottom has the line right there. And then the third one I'm going to center right here in this center set of squares. And I'm using liquid glue so that I have a little wiggle room if I need it. I'm going to push that in just a tad. See? That's why we need the liquid glue. Okay, so there we go. Press that down right there, and I'm just going to set that aside for just a second. While I'm waiting for that to get a good dry on it, I cut a banner out of our So Fancy banners here. I love this die set because all these different labels, I've used them over and over and over again. But I used this one right here inside the larger one. This is the die that I used from the So Fancy dies. I cut it out of basic white, and I am going to take the words "thinking of you." I love the script on this. I need to move that up just a tad. It's okay to tell me, Judy, you're starting to go too close to the bottom. All right, so I'm inking this up in Coastal Cabana ink, and I'm just going to stamp that right in the center of that label right there. There we go. I had to re-ink my Coastal Cabana this week because it was not stamping well. So if that happens to you, you know that's a sign that you need to re-ink your stamps. Okay, so on the back side of this, I am taking, I decided to use the white with the silver. I just thought this one needed a little bling of the silver behind it. So I'm just going to cut a small piece. I would say 5 inches maybe. And I'm going to add some Stampin' Seal to the back side of this label right here. And I'm just going to place this. Let me make sure. I want it to come off the side where it says the T is on the thinking. So I'm just going to kind of crisscross this a little bit so that those banners go off. The ends of that ribbon kind of create a banner going off the side. And it's going to balance the banners that are on the front there. Okay, so there we go. So you see now I turn this over and you've got these little banners of ribbon coming off the edge right there. Okay, I'm going to grab some dimensionals So tell me what you guys did for Memorial Day. We got in the car. I had to travel to Fort Worth anyway for my uncle's funeral last week. It was on Wednesday, but our son and daughter-in-law were taking the grandkids to Great Wolf Lodge in Grapevine, which is very near where my uncle and family live there. And so I guess I better get this on the card front before I start adding the label here. Okay, so here's my card front again. I get to talking to you guys and I forget what I'm doing. Anyway, so we met them for the day, just one night at Great Wolf Lodge in Grapevine. It was tons of fun. We love a good water park, and it's fun to experience that through your grandkids' eyes. So I put Stamp and Seal on the green panel, and I put just a little bit on the ends of each of those banners right there. Liberty Hill, Texas with my fun, Dana. It's fun to visit with family, isn't it? Especially if you really like them. So anyway, we did that, and then we spent Tuesday doing a little shopping. The kids went back home, and then we went to my brother's and had my uncle's funeral on Wednesday. There we go. Isn't that pretty? Well, we're not done, because what do we always need on a Judy card? A little bit of bling. So I'm going to grab these iridescent gems, and I'm going to put a couple of them up here, one big one and one small one up here in this corner, and then another small one right down here, kind of balance that out. So I think that these ribbon banners kind of balance the banners coming off the side here. I love this color combination. Tell me how you guys feel about it. I love to hear, I love the combination of Coastal Cabana and Lemon Lime Twist with the shaded spruce. I just think that's a beautiful color combination. So Donna asked me where I'm from. I grew up in an Air Force family. My parents were from the Fort Worth area, but we lived all over Hawaii, Ohio, New Jersey, Washington, D.C., Austin, Fort Worth, all kinds of places when I was growing up. But when my dad retired, which was the week that I graduated from high school, we were living in Dayton, Ohio, and we moved to Fort Worth and officially became Texans then. So I'll keep that story going here in just a second. So I hope you guys love this. I love the color combination as well. Okay, so that's the first card you will get in the card kit this week if you choose to place a $35 order. And you know what? Since this bundle is going to be 20% off starting on Wednesday, you know, if you love what I do, get the bundle and then you'll have everything you need to complete the cards. Okay. All right. My next card is going to use this awesome, there's several sunburst designs in this designer series paper. This one kind of has a primary, a multiple primary colored starburst on it, and you need one of those sheets. And let me show you some of the other ones. Let's see if I can grab it here real quick without making too big of a mess, so you can see what the other sunbursts look like, because they are all pretty cool. Oh, here we go. Here's one. This is the one we're using. Then here's one that's got kind of a monochromatic look of greens and blues, right? And then this one is more purples and blues, bold blues and purples. So they're all very cool. And you could do the card I'm doing today, you could do in any of these sunburst designs. It's super fun. Okay, so we're taking this. This is the card we're making. Let me show you that. It's really super easy and fun. Isn't that fun and bright and bold? It kind of looks like a sun in the middle, shooting off those rainbow colors. And then on the inside, I just kind of bring the outside to the inside like I usually do. So I'm going to show you how I did this. This is a new embossing folder called Dotted Circles embossing folder. I'll show you that more here in just a second. All right. So what we're going to do, I wanted this sunburst rainbow burst, whatever you want to call it, to be exactly in the middle of the card front of my card, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece of designer series paper. You know, we want our width here to be 4. So since it's 6, I'm going to take an inch off of each side here. So I'm going to grab my paper cutter. This is where being a math teacher comes in handy, right? So I'm going to take my paper cutter and I'm going to place my paper right here on the 1-inch line and use my cutting blade and just slice an inch off that side. I'm going to hold on to this because I might want to use that on the inside of my card. Then I'm going to do the same thing over here. Turn it over, do the same thing on the other side, cut an inch off. I'm going to hang on to that in case I want to use it on the inside of my card. Okay, then this is 6 inches, but I want it to be 5 1/4 inches. So I needed to take 3/4 of an inch off the length, and half of 3/4 is 3/8. I was right. I was beginning to doubt my math there. It's 3/8 of an inch. So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to go to 1/8, 2/8, 3/8 right there. 3/8 is 1 mark past 1/4. I'm going to take off a little on the top. Brenda changed her mind. She does like the embossing folder. I'm glad. Good to know, Brenda. And then I'm going to do 3/8. I don't know what this booger is here on my, I don't know. I'm just going to ignore it, which is going to be hard for me because that bothers me. So I'm going to take 3/8 of an inch off this other side right here. Okay, so now that sunburst is cut 4 by 5 1/4, and it's centered right in the center of the card. Okay, so now, were you afraid I was going to mention that, Brenda, that you don't like that embossing folder? It's pretty fun, and I knew you would like it when you saw it being used in real life. Okay, so Pretty in Pink is a panel that I cut, and you need 2 of these, one for the outside, one for the inside, and I'm going to place this piece of designer series paper right on, just so there's a small border of that Pretty in Pink all the way around. Okay, so I'm going to grab my seal here. This is going to have a very small border all the way around, so I'm going to center it. I like to focus on my corners, and if I get my top corner straight, then the whole thing should be looking pretty good. Okay, so there's my front panel. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this dotted circles. It's called dotted circles, and you guys will notice our embossing folders are huge now. I think it's just because we're going to start doing more scrapbooking. They're gigantic. So it is 6 inches by 8.5 inches maybe. And I'm going to take this panel, put it inside the dotted circles embossing folder, and I'm going to try to center that sunburst, starburst, rainbow burst, whatever you want to call it, right in the center of that circle right there. As best I can. Maybe just a tad further down, right like that. Okay. Now, I'm going to grab my die cutting machine. Here we go. And maybe I will zoom out just a little bit here. There we go. And when you use a 3D embossing folder, you want to use plate number 1. Then you put the 3D embossing folder on that plate number 1, and then I grabbed the 4 plate, which is the gray, and I'm going to run this through, both of them together. Sorry, I know my camera's going to move a little bit as we do this. Brenda, I love that. I love when people think they don't like something and then we create with it and they're like, oh man, how did I think I didn't like that, right? All right, so here's the panel, okay? And look at those dots, you guys. It's so fun. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, so I'm going to grab my card base, which is a piece of thick basic white, cut 4.5 by 11 and scored at 5.5. So now I'm going to take this panel. Maybe I need to zoom back in again here. There we go. I'm liking my new video system, you guys. It took some getting used to, but it's pretty handy. I'm enjoying it. All right, so I'm going to attach this to my card front right here. And when I put an embossed piece on a card front, I like to put my adhesive on the card base because I don't want to smash any of this beautiful embossing out of there, right? So I'm going to do what I did last time. I'm just going to make sure this is kind of even on the top and the sides, and then it should be even all the way around right there. So pretty cool, huh? I love that. Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and do the inside of the card so I don't forget to do that. So I have that second panel of Pretty in Pink, 4.1/8 by 5 3/8, and I've got a basic white that's cut 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to take one of these panels of that I cut off from that 6 by 6 panel I had, and I'm going to attach it at the bottom. And I think I'm going to use this one. This one feels a little too pink, so I'm going to add that bright, bold color to the inside. So this is going to go right across the bottom of my inside of my card. Right here. Maybe move it over just a tad. Oh, sorry, I'm off camera. Just putting that right on the bottom edge of that basic white cardstock. And I'm going to cut the ends off here. And then this is going to get attached to my Pretty in Pink. And this one is cut 4.1/8 by 5 3/8. We needed two of those, one for the front and one for the inside. But you know what? I just realized that, and here's another way this silicone mat will come in handy, okay, is that I put adhesive on the back of this, but I forgot that I haven't stamped yet, and I don't want to stamp it. I don't want to put it on. So if I just set it on here, look, I can pull it right off again. That's pretty cool. Okay, so on this, I have So Excited for You. So Excited for You. I think I'm going to use this. No, I'm not. I'm just going to keep it the way it is. And I'm going to grab my Melon Mambo ink pad. And right across the bottom here, So Excited for You, I'm going to put right here at the bottom, right above that border right there. There we go. So Excited for You. And then I'm going to grab my hearts that come from the stamp set and Pretty in Pink here. And I'm going to stamp some hearts. Right there. And then I just want that little heart to kind of pop off right here. So I have 3. Okay. So I just inked up the small heart, went off the edge of the paper and stamped it just so I got one more small heart right there. Okay. Now I'm going to peel that off, even though it had the adhesive on the back already. I'm going to attach it to this Pretty in Pink panel, and then I'm going to attach this to the inside of my card. Boop. This card really is pretty simple because that embossing folder does all the work, right? So this is going to be a tight fit, but it will fit. There we go. There's my panel on the inside, okay? So I have a couple more things here. I have a Daffodil Delight circle that I die cut from our Spotlight on Nature dies. These have been very popular. This is what my bingo night on June 21st is going to be focusing on. These awesome Spotlight in Nature circle dies. I love them. Oh, fun, Donna. I'm glad. Okay, so this die right here, this circle, makes these kind of radiating stitches around the edge, and I thought that looked kind of like a sunshine. Do you guys think that? And then I cut a 3/4 inch circle in basic white using my 3/4 inch circle punch. Okay, so on this circle die, I'm going to stamp the words Happy Birthday in Melon Mambo ink. So I'm going to ink that up, stamp Happy Birthday right there in the center of that. I almost messed it up, but I didn't. Hooray! And then I'm going to grab that pretty and pink again. And I wanted some hearts in this with the Happy Birthday, but I don't want them to be too bold. So I'm going to ink it up, and I'm going to stamp off. And then just add some little hearts over the Happy Birthday. Again, bringing what's inside, outside, and outside in, right? So there we go. Just adds a little bit of texture and less white to that white panel right there. Can you guys see that? Okay, so I am now going to just glue this right to the center of that Daffodil Delight circle from the Spotlight in Nature dies. That Spotlight in Nature stamp set and dies were not available last week as a bundle, but I believe it is now. So you might want to check that out because that's a very popular set. And then you can come to my bingo night, which is going to be in person and via Zoom, so that's fun. And we can play bingo together. You can win prizes and stamp with me. You get to make 4 cards, play 6 games of bingo. Bingo nights are fun. They're very popular, and I give away gift certificates at my bingo so that you can choose anything you want with your prize winnings. So I'm just making a fake bow by just looping it, and then I'm going to twist it, and then I'm just going to place that right on the center point right there. But I'm going to use twisting it. I just feel like gives it a little more fullness. And then I'm going to grab my tearing tape and tape this down. And the nice thing is that this circle is going to cover up that tearing tape, so you won't even see it. I'm going to tape that down right there. There we go. You can still mess with it a little bit if you want to. Pull some pieces out. There we go. And then I'm going to take this and just attach it right there in the center. Isn't that fun? So I'm going to grab some dimensionals. I'm going to put a couple of them here at the top of the circle and a couple down at the bottom. Okay, wait till you see my last fun fold card, you guys. Don't go away till you see that because it is awesome. I'm so excited about it. Okay, happy birthday right there. Now, all we need to do is add a little bit of that bling here to the card front. Isn't that embossing folder awesome? I know. I love it too. It's super fun. I'm grabbing some of these trying to find my previous card, but it's got to be right here somewhere. Oh, here it is, right here. So I'm just blinging it up, adding some of these iridescent gems to the front. Thanks, Kathy. I'm glad you like it. So I'm just popping them on. I'm doing 2 up on this side right here. I'm doing 2 down here at the bottom. And I'm finding kind of a space that isn't bumpy, if that makes any sense, so that those gems will attach really well. And then I'm going to grab a large one here and put it right here underneath my happy birthday. So that is card number 2. Isn't that fun? So excited for you. I love that. So that's my second card. Now, I can't wait to show you my third card here. It's a little more involved, but I think the extra is worth it. So this is a card, how fun is this, that I got from one of my swaps. I want to be sure to give credit to the person who made it. Give me a second. I'm going to clean all this up. Going to grab my Memento Black ink pad. So I just realized I don't have that. And I want to show you how this opens. Isn't that fun? Okay, so the person who made this is Nancy Spence. I don't know Nancy, but we were part of a swap together last week. And you undo the ribbon right here, and it pulls open like that. Isn't that cool? I love that. I love that. So I figured out all her measurements and dimensions, and I want us to make this card together today, okay? So I'm going to put this off to the side because we may be referring to it here in a bit. I know we're going to need our big shot, so I'm going to get that all ready to go over here. And all right, let's get started. You're going to need a blend, and I have my Dark Berry Burst blend here, so I'm going to put that right up there off to the side. I have 2 pieces. The base is 2 panels of basic black, cut 4 inches by 10 1/4 inches. And scored at 4 3/4. So I have 2 panels of basic black. They're both 4 inches, so a little skinnier than usual. 4 inches by 10 and what did I just say? I just had it. Well, oh, there it is. 10 1/4 inches and scored at 4 3/4. So I've already scored it at 4 3/4. And you need 2 of those because what we're going to do is we're going to overlap these 2 so that you get that crisscross design right there. Okay, so I'm going to take my liquid glue and I'm going to put some down right here. I'm using liquid glue because I know I might need a little wiggle room. Okay, there we go. I'm going to add some liquid glue to all the edges here. All right. And then I'm going to lay this on top of this and just kind of shore that up. I don't want to go over the score line. I want them to just kind of shore up right there. And then sometimes I just tap it like this to make sure they're level on the top and bottom. Okay, so that's going to be my card base right there. It's going to flip like this. Well, you notice this side needs to flip up. So what we're going to do is along the bottom edge right here, I'm going to measure 4 inches in. 4 inches along the left bottom edge, and I've put a little mark right there. Okay, and then on this side, I'm going to do 4 inches in on the top. From the top corner, top right, inside 4 inches, and I've made a little mark right there. Okay, I'm going to grab my cut and scoring plate right here. And I'm going to put the corner of the top left corner in the galley right there, that little alleyway on our trimmer blade. And I'm going to line up where I put that score mark here at the bottom in the galley as well. So we've got a galley at the top. The point is in the galley. Where I put my 4-inch mark down here at the bottom is right smack in the middle of where that galley is. And then make sure you've got your scoring blade, which is the lighter touch, the lighter color, and score at a diagonal right there. Okay? So this is going to fold up like that. Okay? Now this one over here, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to score it from where the 4-inch mark is right there. It's going to be in the galley, and I'm going to twist it so that the bottom right corner point is in the galley as well. So I'm scoring this at a diagonal right there, and that's creating, oops, I didn't get a very good score. Let's try that again. So I'm putting where the score line is, where the mark is at 4 inches along that top edge, and twisting my cardstock so that they're both in the galley. There we go. And then this one will fold that direction like that. So we've got this and we've got that like that. Okay? So crisscross, crisscross. So I'm going to grab my bone folder and make sure I've got really good crisscrosses going there. Really good score lines. Make sure that bottom edge is flush right there. Okay. Grab my bone folder. Press that in. Make sure this is really even right here. Grab my bone folder and press that in right there. Okay, so that's going to be my card. Isn't that cool? Okay, so why don't we start with the inside middle right here, the inside part of the card. And all we're doing on the inside of this is that we have a piece of basic white that is 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. And I'm taking a strip of designer series paper, and this is the one that kind of looks like a rainbow, 1 inch by 5 1/4 inch. I'm going to put that on the bottom edge here. Now it's just all about making everything, putting everything together. There we go. And now I can attach this to the inside of my card base here. There we go. It's going to go right on the inside, right like that, even. Okay. Now, what should I do next? I have 2 pieces of designer series paper. And I tried to use a coordinating, but not the same. And these are cut 1 inch by 3 7/8 of an inch, both of them. Okay, these are those kind of bold dots. This one is going to go right over here on this side, but it's going to overlap that crease just a little bit right there. So I'm going to take my paper cutter, and I'm just going to cut that corner a little bit right there. Okay. Now this one is going to attach to this side. Right here. Good. And then this one is going to attach to this side right here. And I'm going to have to do the same thing. So I'm kind of lining it up with the right side, and where it overlaps that score line, I'm just going to chop a corner off right like that. Now this can go in that side right here. Oop. There we go. Okay, so that's going to create the side panels of that fold. Okay, now I have another piece of DSP, 3 7/8 by 3 7/8 square, and we're going to attach it to a, that's not right. This should be 3 7/8 by 3 7/8 square. This one should be 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. Okay, now before I attach these together, I'm going to cut them both on a diagonal. So I want this to go kind of in here, right? And it's going to be on this side here, and then this one's going to be down here on this side here. So I'm going to grab my paper trimmer. I'm going to take my 3 7/8 inch square panel, and I'm going to cut it at a diagonal from the top right corner to the bottom left corner. Top right corner, let me make sure that's right. I've got to think about that. Yep, top right to bottom left. Okay, and it's going to create these two triangles. Then I'm going to do the same thing with that designer series paper panel here that's cut 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and I'm going to put it in the alley, top right to bottom left. Make sure the points are in the alleys, and then we're going to cut them at a diagonal as well. So then these will fit in to each other if I've done it right. Yep, so this is going to fit right in there. Okay, maybe I'll use liquid glue so I get the corners really well. Right, so this is going to go right here. This was a pretty detailed swap for someone to make. We have to make a whole bunch. We have to make 22 when we do our swaps. So this person, Nancy Spence, put a lot of work into this. So I want to make sure she gets the credit for the design. And let's face it, we all copy designs from other people, right? It's just important to make sure to give credit to the person who showed it to you, I think. I think that's the polite thing to do. All right, so now this panel is going to attach right here onto that panel right there. Okay, so top left corner. And make sure you can see this. I'm going to go right here on this fold right here. And then this is going to go on the bottom right here. Okay? I like to make sure when I'm doing diagonal pieces like this that I get those corners. Make sure I get a little glue at each of those corners so that it won't pop up on the corners. I hate when that happens. All right, there we go. So there we go. It's going to pop open like that. Pretty cool, huh? All right, now let's get the top panel done. I'm always amazed what we can do with stamps, inks, and paper, right? Okay, so now I am not going to cut these in half. I am going to do some stamping on this basic white panel, which is 3 by 3. And I'm going to take my happy birthday that I used before, right here, and I'm going to ink it up in Memento black ink. And I'm going to stamp it right here in that corner right there. Right? Then I'm going to take my Berry Burst blend, and this is kind of fun. I'm going to flick some ink and just create some specks on this. Oh, bye, Roz. I love it too. Hi, Debbie. Thanks for watching me. I'm going to take my blends, and I'm going to take the brush end and my lid, and I'm just going to flick. See, I'm just flicking some speckles. Kind of adds to that fun confetti kind of looking design. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere these two together right here. Always appreciate you, Roz, coming to watch. All right, so now we're going to do some die cutting. I have a scrap of Coastal Cabana, and I have a scrap of black. And I am going to grab my dies right here. And I'm going to make my outline bubble part of Friend in black right there. I'm going to do Friend in Coastal Cabana, and then I'm going to do some hearts in Berry Burst. Okay? There we go. So sometimes, I don't think I really need to this time, but let's see. If I needed to make sure it was going to stay very straight, I might need to on this Friend down here at the bottom, because if it moves, it could go off the edge, right? So I just use a piece of Post-it note tape. I find this on Amazon. I've never been able to find it in person anywhere. I have looked, and I'm just going to tape that piece down. And then I'm going to bring in my die cutting machine over here, which is going to be on sale starting on Wednesday. If you don't have a Stamp and Cut machine, I think it's the #1 thing you need to get if you really want to start being a paper crafter, because you can't do any of this die cutting without a good die cutting machine. Okay, so I'm going to grab my machine and I'm going to bring it into view here. So I'm going to pull this out a little bit. There we go, so that you can see what I'm doing. I still use my magnetic platform. They're not available anymore, but as long as mine still works, I'm going to use it. Just kind of helps hold the dies, and you can buy them from Sizzix if you want to. So I'm going to put my Friend in Coastal Cabana right there. I'm going to cut this black down a little bit. Right there. And then I'm going to put my hearts down here at the bottom. Right there. Okay. And then you always want to sandwich your dies between 2 clear plates. And I'm going to show you the difference here. I didn't use an adhesive sheet on the back of this word Friend like I did on my leaves on that very first card. And you're going to see it's a little harder to get everything glued down without using those adhesive sheets. Okay, so I die cut all my hearts right there. I don't know if you can see those right here. Okay, I'm going to put those down right there. I'm going to put my dies back on my magnetic sheet over here. I've got the word Friend, the bubble outline of the word Friend right there in black. And then I have the inside of my word Friend. But what I want to be careful is with that letter I right there, that little dot. Those are the things that tend to get lost, is the dotted I's or things that have just tiny little pieces. There we go. And then here is my word Friend. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is attach the word Friend to the black outline. So let me get my die cutting machine out of the way. I know I'm going a little longer today, but I think this card is worth it. Okay, so this is going to go, isn't that cool how these dies work together? I'm going to put that word friend right there, and I'm going to add just tiny little dots of liquid glue, but it's kind of labor intensive, so I don't want much glue on it. Just want a few dots so that it'll hold it to that black outline. And I would be surprised if we don't get some glue smishing out here. But maybe I'm just that good. Nope, there's a little bit on the D. See, I'm not that good. And I've been doing this for a long time, you guys. So, okay, so I'm just going to smear that off and it'll be fine. But come see me Thursday because I'm going to show you how this would have been way easier with adhesive sheets. That's what my Thursday Tuttle tip is going to be, is using adhesive sheets. And then I just want a tiny dot, the tiniest of dots of glue right there. I'm going to use this little dot of the eye. It's now stuck to my nail. Here we go. And I'm going to, let me grab my, you know what would be good for this is my, here, take your pick tool. This putty end. I'm going to pick that up with that putty. Look how much easier this is, and just set it right on top of that glue dot right there. There we go, front. Okay, so I'm going to bring back in my panel. The friend is going to go right here across it like that. And I'm going to use some well-placed mini dimensionals on the back of this. Put one right there. Our mini dimensionals are sold separately from our big dimensionals, and you get so many, you guys. Mini dimensionals will last you forever. I wouldn't want to say a lifetime, but for a long time. Okay, so I have some well-placed dimensionals there, so I'm going to take these off, place my friend on the front of my panel here. Maybe a little more straight like that. And then each of these hearts is going to get a dimensional on the back of it as well. And I can use a mini. A mini will be fine. So this one is the middle-sized one, and I'm just going to put it right up there. This one is the larger one. I love the mini as well. You can do, and I would say a mini is a great place to start. But I don't know if Brenda's still on here. She started out with a mini, but the more she got involved with stamping and embossing, the more she felt like she really needed to invest in the larger machine. So a mini is a great way to start. It comes in two colors, white and boho blue. The large will just do so much more. I do like to pull out my mini if I'm just doing smaller die cuts, right? I'm going to cut that one in half because this heart is really tiny. Even a mini is too big for it. There we go. And I'm going to attach this one right here. How cute is that? Okay, so let's bring out everything. I need to wrap my ribbon around this card front right here. And to secure it in place so it doesn't get lost, very close to where the diagonal edge is right here of this square, I'm going to add a piece of tearing tape right here. Hi, Trish. I miss you. I haven't seen you here in a while. Thank you for joining us today. Maybe you're always here and you're just very quiet. Okay, so I'm going to tie a bow on this side. And this is going to help me kind of know how to place this last little square right here. I would agree, Trish. This is a lot for a swap, but I love it, and I'm glad she did it because it helps me teach it to you guys. Look at that. So we're going to attach this right here, and I only want to attach where the happy birthday is, right here in the corner. Oh, thank you, Renee. What just happened with that? Let's see. My hands. Okay. Well, I don't know what just happened. We'll figure it out. Okay, so what we're going to do right here is I'm going to attach this to this upper corner right here. And I don't want to put any glue down on this side down here because it will, you don't want it won't open correctly. So just put some dimensionals right here where the happy birthday is. So I'm going to grab my dimensionals. I'm going to kind of have to do this. That is so bizarre. I don't know what happened. Camera B. Nope. I'm trying. Camera A. It says hands on it, but that's not what's showing up here, is it? So it's okay. We're going to just keep going. So I'm going to take this panel and I'm going to put dimensionals just right in this corner where the happy birthday is, okay? So it was there and then suddenly it just disappeared. So I don't know what happened with that. So, okay, so I'm grabbing my dimensionals. Right here on the back is the back of where it says happy birthday. I'm going to add 3 dimensionals, okay? Right like that. And then I'm going to attach this to the left side, right here, and kind of center it on the front of the card right there. And that's done. That is our last card. What do you guys explain the ribbon? Oh, okay. So, Trish, I wrapped the ribbon around and I put, here, I just tore that off. I put a piece of tearing tape right there just to hold it in place. It doesn't have to have it, but if someone opens this up, it's going to keep them from losing the ribbon, okay? Then you don't have to worry about it showing because when you put this square right here on top of it, it's going to cover up that tearing tape. So you're not going to see that at all, even when you open it up. Okay. So sorry about the camera flip, guy. I don't know what happened there. It was there and then it was gone. So this is the last card we're making. Super fun fold card that opens diagonally like this. Super cute. And then it closes up like this, right? That was my third card. My second card was this one right here that opens up like that. Cute little burst of rainbow on the outside and the inside. And then our first card we made was this beautiful Coastal Cabana lemon lime twist combination of colors, thinking of you card, and it just has a little leaf on the inside. I love them all too, Dana. Thanks for watching. So before I leave, I want to make sure that you guys know where to shop. You need to shop at my TuttleUpShop.com. And for this card class to go, I need you to use this host code right here, EHYZFRVB. So thanks, guys. I hope you love the cards for today. I don't know why that camera just did that, but you know what? We are flexible and we can flip it around. So God bless. I will see you back here next Monday and for another card class to go. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.